So welcome back to day 2 of Beckhoff Live and Interactive here from Automate 2026 in Chicago. So just as a reminder, there's a chat function in the platform you're watching. Make sure you can drop in those questions and comments. We have a really cool day today. We're gonna go through some other additional stuff. Plus we have a special guest from Intel. So stick around and stay tuned for that. Yesterday we covered a couple of things. We went through how Beckhoff's doing, what Beckhoff is doing with AI in that space. We talked about the openness of the platform, how test and measurement fits in. We went through intelligent transport systems, the breadth of the motion products and the new products there, including vision. So man, with all of these things, really giving OEMs and machine builders their choice for a platform that helps them innovate, stay ahead of whatever's coming their way against pressure, global pressure for competitors, but really staying innovative. And speaking of choice, one thing we could talk about is whether you want to use a cabinet or not a cabinet on your machine. So here with Brandon. So Brandon, with the MX system, we talked about there's a lot of choice. We talked about, hey, that you could choose to not have a cabinet at all on your system if you don't want to, right? So it really gives greater flexibility to people when they build their machines. Can you talk through that a little bit?
Well, exactly. Flexibility is kind of the name of the game for us. The M in MX system actually stands for modular.
Okay.
If you really think about it, modular that is flexibility, right? We built the MX system on 40 plus years of automation experience here at Beckhoff.
Yeah.
Using technologies like EtherCAT, taking EtherCAT and power, being able to bring those together and put those out on the machine. We can utilize the MX system in an existing system. We can utilize the MX system as its own standalone system. So tons of flexibility.
So yeah, again, the choice. So
exactly.
Completely no cabinet, or hey, starting a cabinet with all the custom special things, but put some MX, cabinet-free stuff out there for whether it be drives, motion, IO, etc.
It's all your choice at that point.
Okay, great. All right, so the MX system is really kind of it's a system, right? An external that screws together, and there's not a lot of places to poke a multimeter and see what's going on. Like in a traditional cabinet, when you open it up, there's all kinds of wires, there's all kinds of terminal blocks, things like that. You can do some troubleshooting. So with this machine mountable system, how do you troubleshoot something like that?
It's a great point. With the MX system being an IP67 system, right, completely sealed, right, being able to be washed down, we had to have diagnostics kind of in mind from the beginning.
Okay.
Right, so that's where we went ahead and introduced the Beckhoff Diagnostics app. Right, little Bluetooth interface that's an EtherCAT device, plugs right into the network. This little diagnostic app runs on your iOS device or Android device, connects directly to that and gives you all the data you need to be able to diagnose the system without ever having to pull out all these extra tools or hook your laptop up.
So you can really just walk up with a phone or a tablet, see what's going on.
See what's going on with a read-only interface, so you're not going to mess anything up, right?
Okay.
So it's really a fantastic app. Yeah.
And is that something really, really special to the MX system?
Honestly, no. So it started with the MX system.
Okay.
We're starting to expand it into some of other product lines, like the ED series of IO line.
Okay, cool. All right, so with all these different modules and they fit and it's configurable and you can do the hybrid systems, so how do you get started? I mean, if we want to get started with a system, where do I go?
So that's something that we're introducing right now. We've got our MX System Designer. It is as you can kind of see here, a web-based application, right? You can do anything from starting with the components of your machine, figuring out which different MX system components you need from that, taking those together, designing your base plate, putting it to, kind of connecting everything together. And what's really nice is we've got over 2,000 cables loaded into the system, so we can easily define which cables go from one place to another.
That helps a lot, right? You get the right modules, what connects between.
Oh, it's a ton. It's such a hassle.
I love it. Nice, easy designer.
It's so simple.
Sweet. Okay, perfect. All right, thanks, Brandon, for walking us through the MX stuff.
Thank you, Damon.
Yeah. All right, so with the MX on machine mountable components and really this IP67, just take these modules and put them together. But what's inside those modules, and actually what's inside those modules is Intel inside.
Hey.
So here we are with Ricky Watts from Intel. Thanks for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it. All right, so, Intel and Beckhoff aren't new to PC-based controls, not at all. We've been doing this for a little bit, and there's really been a good relationship. There's been a good partnership. And can you kind of talk about what that relationship's been over the years?
Look, firstly, thanks for being here and a great opportunity. But this partnership, I think, with Beckhoff, I mean, I met Dr. Beckhoff many times, and he tells me when they started Beckhoff, that original technology was built around x86.
Yeah, it's true.
It was really the start of this partnership. Right back when Beckhoff started, Intel and Beckhoff working together to design not just the processes, how we use those processes, now they're designed inside of the Beckhoff, bringing what I see today, wonderful Beckhoff technology.
Yeah, that was actually back in the 80s.
It was right in the 80s,
yeah.
where we are today. So
we've been doing that a while.
It's a long partnership we've been working together.
Yeah, so since the 80s, there's been this huge explosion in technology that's been provided with Intel, with more power, more cores, more processors, everything. So what's driving some of, in our industry, what's driving some of the need for more power, bigger processors?
There's a lot going on right now in the industry, as I say. Artificial intelligence is coming out.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Intel has been building a lot of new technology and a new process, integrating this Ethernet technology with this compute technology. I mean, we have here one of the latest products from Beckhoff using our Bartlett Lake processor, bringing that to the market, enhancing the Beckhoff portfolio and going forward. So, I see artificial intelligence coming in, I see new forms of communication coming in, automation increasing, really, just so many pieces of technology, and now moving into the world of advanced robotics as well.
Yeah.
And how that aligns with the portfolio of Beckhoff is amazing.
Perfect. Yeah, applications getting more complicated. Correct. And you keep bringing the power.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I like that. So speaking of the power, right? I mean, you get more power for good cost, and what we like to say is the cost to performance ratio for PC-based control is unparalleled to traditional control. So what other benefits of that partnership and the Intel chipset really brings to machine builders and our joint customers?
There's many areas. We talk about the partnership and the strength of that partnership. Yeah. What we do is when we design this technology with Beckhoff, we're looking at how we can make sure that product, when it gets to you, is really ready for the market. So in speeding up time to market of those new technologies, making sure also that we carry a lot of that legacy over. I often say we look so far into the future, we got to remember where we are today. There's a lot of great technology that's been built on this real-time technologies. So that capability, bringing that forward, making sure that we don't, as we go forward, go backwards as well at the same time. So making sure we bring that forward. And then there's enhancements with our GPU and our NPU that are now bringing new capabilities into our silicon that are now going to be enhanced in terms of what Beckhoff can do with these products. So as you integrate artificial intelligence in there, the silicon's ready, built on that solid and sound foundation that Beckhoff and Intel have been building over the last many decades.
Love it. Yeah, okay, so enabling our joint customers to build more intelligent machines, faster machines, more throughput.
Yeah, faster, quicker to market, but built on the solid foundation, which we know these industrial companies need. They need to make sure that when they deploy this, it works. And it works over that period. And again, everything that we bring, long life in these products. We make sure when you put them out there in the market, they're there for the life of the products, the
life of the machine.
Life of the machine, they're highly secure. So new technology built on that sound foundation. That's a great partnership that we've seen with Beckhoff, and it will continue, I think, over the next multiple decades going forward as well.
I love that. Let's do that.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for joining us, Ricky. Appreciate it. Okay, so we've talked about the power of the Intel processor and the multiple different form factors. So let's talk about and we talked about the new chipset. Let's talk about what else is new and what else are we putting those Intel chips into. So we're here with Andrew. Hey, Andrew. So we talked about the new, speaking of new, we have some new generation PCs and they look beautiful. The next step here in the panels. So can you kind of tell us what's changing with the panels? I think this is what our third generation or something panels. So
it's a good call. It's actually our fourth generation.
Fourth generation panels. All right, so what's new?
Beckhoff introduced the first industrial panel PC back in 1985, and we've been evolving technologies ever since. This happens to be the next evolution of technologies in the panel PC market space. It's codenamed CP4s and CP5s. CP stands for control panels in the Beckhoff world. And basically this next generation of panels are monitors, so control panels, also panel PCs. So lots of new technologies going on in this design. So in this form factor, we range from 7 inches all the way up to 24 inches. Some of the highlights you'll recognize is that this generation of panel PCs and CPs are fully designed in-house, 100% designed by Beckhoff and manufactured by Beckhoff, more importantly. So in doing so, we're able to cost optimize the panels, save some money for our customers, and also incorporate a whole bunch of new improvements. One being this back panel. So we've got new options for mounting our panels and panel PCs going forward. So a lot of savings in costs for our customers, also serviceability and ease in installation. Really excited about this next generation panels.
Love it. I love it. Okay, now I know the previous generations, one of the things that our customers have absolutely loved is the ability to customize these panels and change things up.
It's true.
So talk through a little bit like what's going to be possible with the new panels and what are customers really customizing and doing with panels?
Yeah, it's a great point. Thanks for bringing it up. So most people don't realize, but over 50% of Beckhoff PCs are customized to some form factor or another. So our customers have the options to completely build the exact tailored solution to their unique specific application. And over on our HMI wall, which you guys will see soon, we've got a whole bunch of options to incorporate push buttons, different technologies, RFID readers, barcode scanners, and other things that will tailor fit to our customers' unique solution. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and one thing that I've seen customers really latch onto is being able to change the logo. So Machine Builder
100%.
really brands the front end, the display of the machine to their needs.
So not only are we able to incorporate new technologies and buttons and other things we mentioned before, but we're 100% able to incorporate customers' logos, graphics, designs, and really at the end of the day, almost anything our customers want to design.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Andy, for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right. So we talked to Ricky Watts about the power of Intel processors. We talked about putting those in those panel PCs, those beautiful new CP4s and CP5 panel PCs. But really, the foundation of those panels and what makes them start up and actually power those up is a foundation of power. And I'm here with a powerful man, Chris Waller, and we were going to talk about, Beckhoff's really known for the intelligent transport systems, high-speed applications of motion, like, EtherCAT, bringing all that test and measurement into it. But all of it starts with power and infrastructure. So, you don't traditionally maybe think of Beckhoff as the power and infrastructure guys, but we have a lot to offer there. So kind of talk us through that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the things that we do quite well is actually full energy monitoring. We actually offer a full suite of terminals and devices to monitor, current, voltage, and all of your typical power characteristics. One of the things that we're actually highlighting here is our brand new distributed power measurement based on our EL3475 using effectively standard Ethernet cables for all intents and purposes to go to voltage monitors and current transformers that can be distributed through an entire machine. Now, once we get past sort of that AC power, we actually offer 3 different power supply families. One that has EtherCAT fully baked on board for diagnostics and visibility into what's going on. And then to keep that reliability piece, right, is UPS, buffer modules, redundancy modules to, for dual power supplies, and even DC to DC converters. Okay. And then finally, we actually go on to full overcurrent protection, not just to protect those Beckhoff devices that are downstream, but really anything that's inside or outside the panel.
Okay. So one of our themes for the show is operate with confidence. So how does some of this foundational pieces of electrical stuff really help operators operate with confidence, or end users operate with confidence?
It really comes down to visibility. I mean, while we have the basics of, actually providing that 24 volt or 48 volt power, it's really about visibility into the system at all levels. So the more we get into, various, devices, being able to identify and target
any issues,
electrical gremlins.
Yeah, electrical gremlins, I like that one.
The faster you can resolve those issues before you have some sort of downtime.
Nice. Okay, so I just want to recap here. So incoming power, monitoring that, drop into a power supply with EtherCAT. So again, you get a good view of what's coming in, plus the 24 volts coming out. And then you mentioned all the way through, even these little terminals that look like terminals, but they're not I/O. They're actually
electronic overcurrent protection.
Protection. Awesome. All right, and then you can drive other things besides the I/O on.
Absolutely.
So incoming power all the way through the I/O, small 24 volt devices, everything covered from Beckhoff with intelligence built into every single one of them.
100%.
Perfect. All right, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Okay, so we are wrapping up day 2 of Live and Interactive, but we have one more stop. We've talked a lot about the whole system, and now I want to put that together and say, well, what can we do with all these components, starting from power all the way through motion, PC-based controls, and EtherCAT. So I'm here with, oh look, it's Chris Waller. Okay, Chris, so we do not sell AMRs,
nope,
but we have an AMR in the booth. So tell us why. What are we doing here? What do we got going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're, being here at Automate, one of the things you're going to see AMIs, AMRs, IMRs,
yeah,
all over the place. It's one of the fastest growing areas of industrial automation. And Beckhoff has a lot to offer in this space. And why are we showing it here? Because there's not much space inside of these robots, and we want to show exactly how we fit into this robot.
Electronics, okay. So what exactly, walk through that, what exactly are we showing here? What are we highlighting as far as our products within this solution?
Yeah, absolutely. So first is really on that DC power side. So like I said before, we have DC to DC converters, so we can handle those big 48 volt batteries. When we talk about the motion and drivetrain, we have our ELM7 drives connected to our motors, and we even have specialized solutions for the gearbox and wheels that are specific.
Okay, so really for AMRs. Okay.
Yeah, and then an area that's really near and dear to my heart is twin safe through everything. So it's twin safe at the terminal, twin safe at that ELM7. That ELM7 has 17 different safe motion functions out of the box.
That's what you need in an AMR.
Yeah,
little safe motion.
Exactly. And then, sort of that next step of safety is twin safe SC. That encoder right there, that's a standard encoder. That's not a safety rated encoder, but we use twin safe SC to take that signal, combine it with another signal so we can do safety functions up to performance level D using standard product, which is much less expensive.
So it's a little bit of the theme we talked about yesterday of like really picking the best device for your application. And Beckhoff has that openness where you can integrate it in.
Yeah, and speaking of that openness, we're expected for these industrial mobile robots, automated mobile robots, to speak to the larger enterprise system. So whether that's third-party fleet management software, fleet safety type devices. When I talk about safety, even running safety over wireless, it uses a black channel, so we can run it straight back. So say you have an e-stop that has to go across your entire plant, we're good to go on that sort of macro level software.
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks Chris for joining us the second time.
Thank you.
All right, so this is going to be the end of Live and Interactive, Beckhoff Live and Interactive. And as you see from the solution that we pulled here, there are many choices to solve your industrial application and really be able to innovate your industrial application to stay really competitive. We looked at AI, we looked at test and measurement, we looked at the MX system, we looked at the range of motion, we looked at intelligent transport systems. We've covered a lot. So, did we close this out? I'd like to say that we're closing out Beckhoff Live and Interactive, but we're not closing out the show. There is still another day at the show. So if you're around and want to stop by, absolutely stop by the booth, have a coffee with us. Now, if you're watching and want to connect with one of us, absolutely. In North America or anywhere around the world, Beckhoff is actually represented in something like 75 countries at this point. So if you want to connect from anywhere, you're watching from anywhere in the world, just go to beckhoff.com/contact. You can find your local contact to set up an appointment and talk through your specific applications and how we can help you innovate and what products we have to really drive that for you. We'd like to call out that the next Beckhoff Live and Interactive is going to be at Nuremberg at the SPS show with Roland and Felix again. And specifically to Roland and Felix, I will hand the Beckhoff Live and Interactive microphone back to you to kick off in Nuremberg in November. So for you guys that are watching at home, I say stay safe, take care, and we'll see you next time.